Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, and that is a 10-inch by 20-inch canvas right here. And this is dollar store sidewalk chalk, which I have decided would be fun to play with as far as making a sketch goes. Then I could actually follow an outline. Not that that's much of anything, but I don't think the chalk will hurt anything. And I'm going to start with a sky and some white and some colors that I like that make a nice swipe. And I'll see how I feel about it as I go along. That's a color shift that I don't use very often because it's over there in that other container. This is kind of plugged, but I like it. Yeah, it's not plugged anymore. There goes the plug right there on my canvas. Oh well, I wanted some red in my sky, right? I think, really? I shouldn't have said that, huh? Now I got some purple. Whatever it is, it'll be fine. I'm not putting that cap back on though, and I am going to wipe that off right now. Let's see if I can get that red splodge off in the background. Alright, so what else? I like this color. This is a mica. I never use this color because I have the neon from folk art that does it. And I could probably just experiment with those two things and be pretty happy. So I've got some colors there, and I want an edge catcher, and I just cleaned them up. So let's use this one over here. Just let some of that paint flow right down. Good place to start. Level it off. Make sure it doesn't get away from me, as in just keep paying attention to what's going on there and adding more paint. Because I can, sort of thing. And I'm just going to keep tipping back and forth till I start to get with something that I like. And if I happen to tip off a bunch of paint onto the edge catcher, I will scrape it off. Or even tip it back on, which I can do. I'll show you that right now. There we go, tipped back on and scraped into place. And then tilted over again. Because skies are not something that are easy to predict. But I am taking more and more time because I'm enjoying the process of watching where my sky colors go. I'm going to flow all of that that's willing to run down. And I'm even going to slide, am I? I thought I was. I thought I was going to slide my edge catcher down, which is a little tricky. And then let that paint flow back in. But I think what I'm going to do is put some white right on the edge catcher and squeeze that back in. That's a first. And let that roll down. And I can use a straw to blow things into place, and I may do that in a minute. Or a spatula. But I like the patterns that I get from letting the colors intermingle without me interfering in an agitated way. I got green clouds down there. I wonder how that happened. Anyway, I'm going to grab an OXO omelet turning spatula, best paint spreading tool there is that I know of, and use it to scrape off my edge catcher. Put that paint right into the canvas. Have a look and see if... Take that edge catcher out of my way. Have a look and see if there's anything I want to do here. And there kind of is. Just want to let that pretty purple get melded when I get over to this side, I'm probably going to tip again. And I can take one edge catcher, excuse me, one spatula, and use it to excavate the paint off the other one. Well, sometimes I do it better than that, but it's okay, it's still being used. So I'm going to throw that in the bucket. So when there's a little space like this, what I do is usually pounce or pull. And I've got a bunch of spaces there that I like the look of. And I'm wondering what I'm going to do with that right now. Because it's up here too, and I think there's more chipping involved. So I'm going to see how much paint will go down. I'm going to grab all that paint right there. Put it in. Am I? I am. Alright, so another small edge catcher would be really handy right about now. How about we use the one we've got handy? Period. So I'm going to let all that paint flow over again. I'm using too much of my time just tilting my sky, but the sky is magnificent. So I'm not really having too many regrets about it, except for making you guys wait for me to be done. I can still see my gaps, and I'm going to have to fill them for sure. But I'm thinking that I really like that blue, so I'm going to use some of it to fill my gaps. Since I'm going to be tilting that way, I'm going to put the majority of it on my right, your left. And maybe join it with a little bit of something something. Because I can. The name of my book on the Amazon link under Show More, List 1. This is bugging me. Probably I'm not the only one. I'm going to line up my edge catcher's wet paint with the wet paint that was there, and wish that I had just taken a straw to that, which is not really too late to do. But as soon as that paint gets a little further over, you know what, I just don't have the patience for this right now. I'm going to grab a straw. I will use the paint on my catcher to cover the top. And maybe flow back in. Who knows? There we go. I got some coverage. And I've got some more coverage coming right up. There we go. In the middle. Very good. So that is quite the sky. And any places that might not be quite copacetic are going to get a slight skewering. The rat hunter has decided his quarry is within reach. He's wrong, by the way. We have rodents living in the yard. Alright, so that's a fantastic sky. And I want to put in the bottom half. Of this canvas. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to make myself up a pan of color. And I think the vast majority of that is going to be as much of this beautiful green as I can get, because I think that will look terrific with that. And I like to use the Prussian blue when it will come out of the bottle. Whoops. Sometimes in a big burst. go with that. I kind of want some white in there this time, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but I think the copper is calling to me. And this other purple was similar in color. Yes, it was very similar in color. And what else do we have? I'm thinking that that aren't mine. Alright, so I'm going to go and add some more. And maybe change it up just a little bit with some black. I never put that purple. Oh, I did. I didn't swipe my purple. If I swiped that, I would get tremendous cells. Alright, so lately, that's got paint on it. You can't use that. Well, you could. Lately, I've been enjoying putting little ribbon dribbles on things. Traveling ring pours, I think they're called sometimes. I need an entirely new edge catcher, and that is a certainty. So I am going to grab and wipe the sand off of something else entirely. Something that is not pretty, preferably. If I can get my edge started right, I got a good shot. I'll add more paint as I need to. I'm going to let that pool levelly, maybe, and flip it right back in. Squeeze the edge catcher. Let it come down some. Rock the edge catcher and let that line of paint roll right down the gap. And tip again. Come on, you can do it. And keep tipping, rolling that line of paint right down the edge. And then I'm going to force it back up in. And because I can, I'm going to grab my spatula and take off all the paint that I can get from this edge catcher. And probably wipe that spatula off because I might use it again in a minute. I'm going to put my edge catcher down and decide that there's not enough paint there to do what I need it to do. Alright, so now I've got more paint. Thought I had enough. Let me find my fingerprint on that side. I know the sky is moving a little bit. I'm just going to have to live with that. I need a pool of paint. I'm going to rock my edge catcher before I throw it back on. Bring it around. Wipe off my fingers. Come on, line up. Yes, I have some wrong colored paint down there, but I'm hoping I can get away with it. Because with the wrong color in there, I really can't scrape it off the edge catcher anymore. But I've got colors I want to go up and over and fill in. And the this, let go. The spatula is definitely coming in handy right now. I am going to do what I just did again. Let that paint flow over and fill in. I got 36 seconds left. I also got a mountain in my sky suddenly. I'll fix that. I'll have 2 minutes again when the timer goes off. Hopefully I'll be in a position to turn it off this time, which I was not last time. Alright, so I'm going to have some, yeah, I see that thing that does not belong, is changing the trajectory. No, I don't want that ball of dog hair either. Alright, I have 2 minutes to tell you guys I would appreciate it if you wanted to share my artwork, and anytime you watch the videos longer, it helps my placement on YouTube, and I appreciate it very much. If you give me a thumbs up, it helps me out. If you watch the commercials, it really helps me out. Oh, I see I've got a little spot of canvas right up there, and another one right there, and I haven't torched yet. And I got a waterfall over here. That is so cool. Hey, edge of the world kind of stuff. So I still need to decide what happens right here. And I think I'm just going to let that become part of the sky as best I can. I'm not sure what to do with that. That is not a part of the sky. That is something else entirely. So I'm just going to move that out. Put some green in there, and then tell you guys that I love you, and there's only almost 85,000 of you, and I'm very distracted trying to finish this right now, so I apologize if I don't tell you everything you need to know. You'll see another video. On the end screens of every video, there is a monthly drawing where you can find the prizes for anybody who's willing to contribute, and thank you to everybody who has to keep me painting. If you're willing to contribute $10 or more, you can find the prizes there, and this is pretty cool. That's got some really really intense stuff going on in there, and I like it a lot. I wonder. Oh, I wonder if paint's gonna come out. I should wonder that every time. There, I'm pretty well covered in places. I might have a couple places to touch up, but I used to have a card I could read you guys. There it is. Okay, so in the last minute, I should tell you guys that I have Facebook groups: Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Fans and Collectors, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Totes and More, where you can find pixels.com and Fine Art America if you want to shop now, or even check out my work. Please share. I sell my artwork, and it finances the studio and me making videos, so I really appreciate that. If you don't have notifications, check with YouTube in the search box on your YouTube channel page. You'll find all kinds of answers there. If you shop my Amazon link underneath, show more underneath the video, you'll find the OXO omelet turning spatulas and the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas. So binge watching is available on my channel by going and finding my created playlists. There are like 20 of them, 11 genres, and 9 lists of 100. And I think I told you guys that it's Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter underneath the video, and my paint pouring recipe. So I hope to see you soon. Check my community board for an announcement for tomorrow's video, almost any day, or the Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group. And I am going to torch this to make sure that there are no bubbles in it, and then I'm going to call it good. And so much for thinking I was going to put trees in anything again. I love you guys very much, and thank you for keeping my morale up with all the wonderful comments. You're very, very much appreciated. I will hopefully see you soon. I post every day, so watch some more videos. Helps me out.